Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily NVIDIA report for Thursday, June 12th, 2025. Let's take a look at the charts. Start with the big picture. It was about 7 weeks ago we closed above that 96.52 4 or 5 month descending channel top, then indicating 150.57. As I mentioned, as much as a 3 to 5 month objective. 3 to 5 weeks later, we are closing in on that objective. The market has certainly slowed its momentum. This is the daily chart you can see. And are we getting toppy here? We've got a bit of a double top here over the last few days. The base of that double top, if you will, the short-term channel, is at 141.51, and I'll say that just closing above 141.51 maintains a stable dynamic as we move into next week. Our 150.57 objective you can see in reach perhaps by the end of next week. 150.57 is able to contain buying not only through July but possibly into August, September. We could fall away from here in a meaningful way. In fact, once we test the lower 150s, I would anticipate as an objective this rising channel bottom at 125.63. This could be 3 to 5 weeks, the better part of 2 months, climbing aggressively. It is this narrowing wedge that will give us our next big picture signal. In other words, closing below 125.63 would be a significant sell signal into July, August. Closing above 150.57 would be our significant buy signal into July, August. Then anticipating the 172.99 2 to 3 month longer term channel top within 2 to 3 months, where we could place an annual high and fall away from there into early 26. But we're a long way from that happening. And in the same chart, we have 134.83. This is an inside channel structure. These work pretty well. You can see how we actually closed right at it about 4 or 5 weeks ago, backed away, and did not close above it until last week. And now we're pushing on to new highs, but it's a pretty decent base of support, 134.83. I also like it because of the 134.86 2-week channel bottom now. Now, if we close today below 141.51, I'm not expecting 134.86, but rather 139.55. In fact, this could be an intraday development where we break 141.51 and test 139.55 intraday, where yes, we can place a daily low and round up into next week. If we hold 139.55, we can actually reach the 150.57 formation within a week or two. But if we do close today below 139.55, we have, I'm going to call it a 3 to 5 day sell signal with present volatility by the end of next week or sooner. Could be within 2 or 3 days with a spike in volatility, but closing below 139.55, near term, short term swing traders, 3 to 5 days or so, I think need to either be short or out of the market. I see no good reason to stay long or be long 3 to 5 day swing traders with a settlement below 139.55. Then expecting 134.86, where we could bottom out through next week and rally into the low 150s. The 2 to 3 week time frame is really buying 134.86, anticipating a 2 to 3 week recovery, bullish continuation into the low 150s. And the same can be said to the upside. Selling the low 150s and then buying back some variation of this 134.86 channel bottom. It'll be in the more of the 136, 138 handle by then. But I think you understand what I'm saying, that you can sell the low 150s and expect the mid to upper 130s as an objective as a 2 to 3 week swing trader. Closing below 134.86, certainly not going to happen today, would set up 125.63 as the next 1 to 2 week, possibly 3 to 5 day target. Once again, this 2 month channel bottom able to contain selling through July, and from here we can round up into the low 150s again. As I said earlier, not unless we close below 125.63 do I expect the market to then sell off, and probably substantially. Maybe down to 83.50 over time. We don't have our points picked yet in terms of our, kind of the 2 to 3 week target, but I wouldn't not want to be long NVIDIA as we move through the month of July and into August if we were to close below 125.63. And, I wouldn't want to be short NVIDIA if we were to close above 155.57 into July, August, then anticipating 172.99. And inside that wide zone, the mid 120s, the low 150s. We have these 3 to 5 day and 2 to 3 week swing trade. The 2 to 3 week is once again buying 134.86, anticipating upward rotation back into the low 150s. And you can sell the low 150s, anticipating bearish rotation back into the mid 130s, mid upper 130s. So 140, 151, decent pivot point for today. I'm leery, though, of playing an aggressive short side below it. I think it is a head fake in the making. In other words, I think we can break 140, 151. That should bring on some shorts into the market, but I then would only expect 139.55, where you can cover a short position below 140, 151. I'm talking to aggressive day traders, and reverse and go long. You can go long for the day at 139.55. You can go long through the rest of the week at 139.55, because once tested by the end of next week, we can reach our ultimate objective at 150.57. A last thing I'm going to say is a repeat that closing below 139.55, we have a good high for the week, and over the next 3 to 5 days, 134.86 expected, where we could bottom out through next week, and from here round up into the low 150s within 2 to 3 weeks. It's about as simple as that. Now this week, we've been putting out 2 or 3 stock picks a week. Recent ones, Tempest AI, Dana Holdings, Adobe Systems. I could go on and on. There's 4 or 5 relevant ones just in the last 2 weeks that you can see for free by going to wickedstocks.com and taking advantage of our 5-day free trial, where you'll also see our daily Triple Q and our daily SPY analysis, as well as our weekly Apple stock analysis. So you'll go to wickedstocks.com, fill out our form, take advantage of the 5-day free trial, and you won't regret it. And if you do, you can bail out by your 5th day at no cost to you whatsoever. So I am going to leave it at that for Thursday's NVIDIA report. You have a great day.